We're doing predictions for three more games of week 12 of this college football season. So starting with Oregon at Wisconsin. So Oregon might be without three of their best players in this game. Their best wide receiver, Tez Johnson, and their best running back, Jordan James, and their best defensive lineman and defensive player, Jordan Birch, are all questionable to play in this game. And the health of these three players probably will have a lot to do with how far Oregon can go this season. But I don't think it's going to matter for this game. Oregon's defense has a whole lot of depth, and they've got Noah Whittington as Jordan James is backup running back who is pretty good, and they've got Holden and Stewart at wide receiver who are really good, and their tight end Terrence Ferguson is now healthy, so they should be fine at running back and wide receiver and defensively in this game. And Oregon has a huge quarterback advantage over Wisconsin. I know you know how good Dylan Gabriel is, and Wisconsin has been playing a second string quarterback for most of this season. So early this season in the Alabama game, the quarterback that they had brought in through the portal, who was supposed to be their starting quarterback for this season, had a season-ending injury, and their quarterback now is not very good. Now, Wisconsin does have a pretty good running back. The running back that they brought in from Oklahoma, Kyle Walker. But Wisconsin's offense has not been very good this season. They rank 94th in the country in scoring, averaging only 25.1 points per game. And their defense just gave up 42 points to Iowa. So I think that Oregon will win this game big. They've got an advantage at the line of scrimmage too, and the team with the better quarterback and that's better at the line of scrimmage almost always wins the game. I've got Oregon getting the win at 38-17 over Wisconsin, and now Arizona State at Kansas State. A big game for the Big 12 conference. So right now, if Colorado wins out and BYU either wins out or only loses one game, it will be at Colorado against BYU in the Big 12 championship. But if Colorado does lose another game and Kansas State is able to win out, Kansas State will go to the conference championship because they beat Colorado. And if Arizona State can win out and Colorado loses another game, Arizona State will likely go to the conference championship because they haven't played Colorado, and even though they'd have the same conference record as Colorado, they'd have a better overall record, which would likely put them ranked higher than Colorado. So Arizona State's passing offense is not very good, but their run game is really good. They've got one of the best running backs in the Big 12, Cameron Scadaboo. He's already rushed for over 1,000 yards this season, and they're averaging 198 rushing yards per game. And their quarterback, Levitt, is also a pretty good runner. And Arizona State has a good receiver too, Jordan Tyson, who has over 650 yards. But Kansas State is also a great running team. they're averaging 203 rushing yards per game, and their starting running back DJ Giddens is about as good as Cameron Scattaboo is. He's got close to 1,000 yards rushing this season, and Kansas State's at quarterback Avery Johnson is an even better runner than Arizona State's at quarterback is, and I think Avery Johnson is a little bit better of a passer than Sam Levitt is at Arizona State. And Kansas State's got a good receiver, Jace Brown. He's become their go-to wide receiver. He's got over 600 receiving yards this season. And Kansas State, I think, has a little bit of an advantage at the line of scrimmage in this game, and they've also got another good running back that Arizona State doesn't have. Arizona State only has one good running back, but Kansas State's got Dylan Edwards who can come in for Giddens when Giddens needs a break and do well for them. Kansas State, I think, has a little bit of an advantage defensively in this game, and I think they've got a little bit of a coaching advantage. Chris Kleiman has been a Power Four head coach for quite a while now, and has been doing a pretty good job at it for the amount of talent that he has. Now, Arizona State's head coach Kenny Dillingham has uh, turned their program around really fast. They're at 7-2 now, and they were only 3-9 in his first season, and uh, they were horrible though before he got there. So Kansas State is also the home team in this game, which I think will be an advantage for them. So I do think that this game will be very close, but I'm going with Kansas State to get the win, 31 to 27 over Arizona State. So now Missouri at South Carolina. So I think South Carolina is going to destroy Missouri. Missouri, I just do not think is very good. So Missouri's at quarterback Brady Cook, who missed all of the last game. I saw isn't expected to play in this game, and I think that pretty much ruins any hope Missouri has in this game. Missouri does have a couple of dangerous wide receivers. I know Luther Burden and Theo Weiss, but the problem is their backup quarterback is terrible. So he played the whole game last week against Oklahoma and was a 14 of 27 for 143 yards. Now, I know Oklahoma has a pretty good secondary, but that's still unacceptable. And South Carolina's secondary is pretty good too. South Carolina's defense has been good this year. They're ranking at 12th in the country in points allowed per game, only giving up 17.6. So Missouri is going to have to beat South Carolina running the football, and I don't think that is going to go well because South Carolina's run defense is even better than their pass defense is. They've got two of the best defensive linemen in the country, Kyle Kennard and Dylan Stewart, who are elite pass rushers. And South Carolina is not a great passing team, but I don't think it's going to matter in this game. Now that their offensive line is improved from what it was last year, they can run the football. And they've got a quarterback, Lenore Sellers, who's a very good runner. And the running back that they brought in from Arkansas, who had a great season in 2022, Rocket Sanders, who hadn't really been the same since then. It seems to have finally gotten back to his old ways. these last two games, he's rushed for 144 and two touchdowns against Texas A&M and 126 and two touchdowns against Vanderbilt. I've got South Carolina getting the win over Missouri, 41 to 10. That will be it with this video, and please subscribe and thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.